Welcome to the Four Corners series for Workers and Resources Soviet Republic, and we're picking up on the 11th of September 1922. At this period, life has got very hard. The country is effectively exhausted by famine and disease. The Bolsheviks have now effectively got control of the country. Virtually all resistance has disappeared except for the occasional peasant revolt against the way that their crops are being stolen. But these revolts are being put down pretty brutally. So we've got to accept in our little community here that the Bolsheviks are taking over, and that's the reason why I've moved forward to the new update, which introduces loyalty. Now, before we get into the gameplay, I just want to talk a little bit about the economic situation at this time, because it's very easy to assume that as the Bolsheviks triumph, what most people regarded as the communist state, which I think really dates from around the 1940s forward, comes into effect. In fact, there's a very great difference of opinion during this period, because even the Bolsheviks themselves are very much aware that the economy has been totally destroyed compared to what it was before 1914, and they need to rebuild their economy. And in order to do that, they've got to motivate the population to, well, make a contribution. And what actually happens is that the Bolsheviks move away from war communism, which was pretty brutal, towards what is called the new economic policy. This was sponsored by Lenin and various other socialists. And the idea is to have what you could call state-controlled capitalism, in the sense that there will be a limited free market. Some of the industries that have been nationalized were denationalized, and the population were allowed to own property and develop their own small businesses, although it needs to be said that this would all be under the control of the central government. And a good modern comparison to the way that the Bolsheviks are looking at this economy is effectively the same as China today. And to add to this, the Bolsheviks were also trying to encourage foreign investment from countries like Europe and America to try and help rebuild their economy as well. So there is this influx which lasts for a few years until, well, effectively until Stalin comes to power. So that's the economic background that we have at the moment. I think there's just one final point I'd like to mention before we move on to some actual gameplay, is that on the 29th of December 1922, the state of the USSR is created. So effectively Russia becomes a Soviet republic as part of the greater union of Soviet socialist republics, i.e. the USSR. And of course the USSR will continue right through until I think the 1980s. Now, the reason the game's on pause is simply down to the fact that we are implementing the new loyalty mechanic. I'm just going to try and pin this open. Therefore, I need to do a few adjustments to the map before we can actually let the game roll forward, because otherwise we may have a few problems. Is probably the polite way of saying it. Now, for anyone who's not familiar with the new reworked interface, I'll just give you a quick tour round. For one thing I will say, for anyone who's been following the Seven Crosses series, you'll see that the construction toolbar has moved down to the bottom again. The reason for dropping it down is that I played on for a little while after finishing the video, and I found that having the toolbar at the top here was just made it a bit too cluttered, especially when you've got these drop down menus coming down across the top here like this. So what I've done is I've decided to go back to having the construction toolbar across the bottom. Now, if any of you are not sure what I'm talking about, if you come up to here, we go into general settings, and you can see at the top here it says construction tab on top. And if you click that, it flips up to the top there, but I'm just going to flip it back. And then above that, you've got a couple of scales here, which allows you to increase the size of these icons here. What I've actually done here across the bottom is taken this up to maximum. If I kind of open these up, I think these will be big enough for you guys to be able to see. If you can't see, feel free to chuck it in the comments and I'll fix it. Now, that out of the way, I think probably the best way to introduce the next phase of the video is to talk a little bit about happiness up here. Because what actually happens is that when you load in an existing game, you seem to get either 41 or 42% government loyalty added. And I think that also applies to if you start a new game. All your new citizens come in with about 42% loyalty. So you don't have to build loyalty up from zero when you start a game. And thankfully, we don't have to build the loyalty up from I think that before it was literally just a few percent. So we've got a starting percentage of loyalty of 42%, which we need to build on relatively quickly, because what we need to do is to avoid the average loyalty dropping down too low, because that means we've got to have residents which have got a loyalty of less than 30%, which will make them pretty unhappy and pretty inclined to leave. One other thing I want to show you is at the moment, you can see in here, we can't see the loyalty of our individual citizens or the dwellings where they live, but it is possible to get a bit of an estimate of the situation if you actually go over the individual citizens. And if you look below, it says average productivity. You can see we got citizens with a productivity of 103%, which means they've got a high loyalty. But if we can find anyone that's, well, obviously these guys are quite happy, but what I will do is go over and see if we can find anyone who's unhappy over here, because this is my more unhappy part of the settlement. I think we got someone down to 88% there, so they're probably below 40%, probably pushing towards 30%. 95, I think. What's it there? We got somebody there 62%, so you could probably say that there's somebody there with a loyalty of about 30. So when we're starting out, we're going to get this big mixture of loyalties which we need to fix. Now, some things I do need to do before we actually can unpause the game. The first thing I need to do is come into here, and if you go right to the bottom, oh no, it's at the top here, sorry, is I want to make sure nobody will move into these settlements, because with this update, what can happen is anyone over 21 can move to a new building away anywhere on the map. So we need to be able to manage that, and I think what I can do here is just turn off all of that, and then of course we need to go up the villages here and do exactly the same to these villages, because I don't want anyone moving into these areas. Yeah, otherwise it's just going to cause a problem, and we're going to lose our over 21s in a kind of a bit of a wrong direction. And we'll just do the same there. Now, the reason you've got this here is the fact that we've got individual buildings. If this was just a place name on the map, you wouldn't get this option. I think this is the last one. Quick look. Yeah, I think we've done them all now. Now, the next thing I need to do is to get back to over here, and we're going to make we need to find the school and the university, and what I want to do is just increase this starting loyalty for teachers to 35%. Now, if you see below where it says minimal government loyalty for employees, it says if workers' loyalty is unknown, is allowed anyone, it means anyone is allowed to work. So I'm just putting this in, but begin with, we'll get anyone coming into here. And of course, the teachers and staff will pass their loyalty on to the students, which is something we do really want to get going. And of course, you can do the same with universities. But what you can also do is set a minimum loyalty for students. But at the moment, I'm just quite happy to let things get going. And then over here, I think this is the school block. We're just gonna come into here, and this is the university. Kind of a bit worried about if we go in here. There's 161 children looking for an education, but it doesn't make sense to me. But I thought what I'll do is we're just gonna turn this one back on again, just in case it's in this area, although I've got a feeling it might be in Titusville. So we've now got people, and what should happen is no one should migrate to away from where we are at the moment, hopefully. That's the theory anyway. And we've got a population of 2,600, and we've got 1,498 workers. I just want to take another look at the elementary school is dropping down, but I'm not overly sure where. Yes, sometimes it can be a bit difficult to find out. I just wonder whether the kids have just got to find their way into the schools. Now, what I'm going to do is pause again, because what we need to do now is just work on our government loyalty, which means we've got to build a secret police headquarters, and we can also build a monuments to try and improve the overall loyalty. But I think we'll start with the monuments, and you can see the monuments here. Now, of course, we've got statues of Lenin, which would be a bit inappropriate at the moment, mainly because Lenin is just another politician. They wouldn't be building statues to him at the moment. Now, the thing when you look at monuments, what you're looking for is the amount of loyal influence that can be given, and the distance that that statue can transfer. Now, this is a fairly tight town, so I'm also looking to try and keep the cost as low as possible. That's only 65 meters. That's 150 meters. These 57 tons of concrete. That's 68. I suppose we're just going to be stuck with. That's pretty big. I'd ideally would like to get a statue in here. Soviet emblem. That got a footpath. Footpath's there. I'm kind of thinking maybe we can put it up here, or didn't design my town very well, did I? Maybe we should put a statue of Lenin up. Actually, what is the distance on this? 145. Let me just use the new measuring tool. This is. We're gonna have to put a red star in, aren't we? Okay. I think we'll just have to put the red star down here next to our town centre, like that. Didn't really want to do this, but I think we don't really have a lot of choice. And I think while we're looking at red stars, I think where can we put another one over here? We got a bit of a space here. Maybe we'll just put you in there as well. Now, of course, what we've got to build also is the secret police headquarters. Now, I don't really want to put in this building because this is just way too big for what we want to build. What I'm looking for, we got a local intelligence office here. This needs 39 tons of concrete, 76 tons, 56. I think what we're going to do is build this small local intelligence office. Now, unfortunately, I did take a look through the mods to see if I could get something that might be a bit more in keeping. But this is about the best we can get. Question is, where can we build it? Let's just have a look round. Well, we've got the university up here that we're not using, isn't it? If I knock the university down, and I've got to remember where's the. Actually, just gonna up here. Just knock it down here. Well, we can speed the game up anyway, so. And then what will come in here? Well, this fits in this bit. Yeah, this would fit quite nicely actually. Say for argument's sake, I put the local intelligence office there, and which I wouldn't mind. Just gonna kind of gravel in that footpath there. We need to make sure bulk supply road crew. I think we'll put the workers on. It's not Titus workers. Where's New Hope workers? Put you on there as well. And of course, we're gonna. Wow, these guys are right on the case straight away. That's brilliant. And we'll get New Hope workers there, just in case. Right, we now need to get a secret police headquarters in Titus. Actually, I'm looking at this old gate block house here. Oh, this has actually got resources on it. We could put it down here. I mean, that could be a place to put it, isn't it? We've got to send out vehicles, so it's not like we need it to be in a really, in the center of town. Although, so we'll probably put you there. Again, we're just going to assign. We're going to need the excavators, the bulk supply. I think that road's long enough, so we don't really need it to come out here. So what we need to really focus on now is trying to get these buildings built. Now I've got loads of horses somewhere up here. We've got a road being built here. You can see I've got loads of riding horses. Now, of course, one of the new features with this now is what we can do now is when we say we want 3 dumpers, it will just build 3 dumpers. It just won't keep building ad infinitum anymore. We've got electronics again. Just get rid of some of the cat plastics as well. And so we got a whole load of stuff there. Big thank you for all your comments and feedback. As usual, you guys give me so much to think about. Now, somebody did mention about the fact that distribution offices that are picking up goods from areas where the production is not particularly that good don't seem to work very well because of the changes they've made to the way that they operate. So I do need to keep an eye on what's going on. And I think the problem is that when these empty out, what happens is that the distribution offices don't take the work, deliver any goods anymore. Now, something I do want to do up over here, like for here at the moment, we don't have that much gravel here. So what I'm going to need to be is for a bit careful to make sure that we don't really push out too much overload onto these offices. Now, one thing I do want to do is get this working. We've actually got 10 concrete here waiting to be exported. Oh, that could be useful. Let me just see who's our concrete guys here. I think what we're going to do is we're actually going to put you up onto there. And then what distribution offices have you got? Come in here. You've got Titus concrete plants. Actually, just name you because they're both named the same way. Just call you Titus small concrete because we don't need 2 operating here just at the moment. It could be useful. Then we'll just come in here. And what we'll do is we'll just take off the delivery here. Oh yeah, one other thing I've noticed, I was fiddling around in my 7 Crosses series, and what you seem to be able to do now is send up deliveries to 100%. We're just going to get in there. Where is it? Titus small concrete. We'll just remove you. I'm just going to push these up to 100% as well. Citizens' health is too low. Where are you? Oh, did I miss someone? Yep. Allow citizens to move it. Why are you moving here? You shouldn't be moving in here. Get back to... Is that because I unpaused it and they were already on the move? I thought the mechanic would stop this problem. There's one there, which I missed. Okay. You guys have just got over here. Is that everybody? You're gone. You're gone. You need to move. We got 2 people over here. Need to keep an eye on this. I thought I'd fixed it. You can just unpause now and let the game run. What I want to do is just try and keep an eye on things, and I'm not going to add any new jobs, so this part is going to be very much a bit of a catch-up type situation. And one area I think might... Yeah, no gravel. Why aren't you delivering gravel to here? What is causing the problem? These guys are just sat here doing nothing. Why aren't you? And this is what I think someone reported, that why are these guys not a calcium plant? He should be delivering gravel to here, but I think the problem is that we're not really building up enough here to. Since he's got no gravel, I'm just wondering whether it might pay to put a fixed delivery route in, because we need to make the cement to keep this lot going. See, he's only got 0.5 tons. In fact, he's got virtually no gravel as well. I'm a little bit worried, because we need to keep making the cement drive everything else. I've got a dumper here. Let's see if we can force it by using a route. In fact, I think what we will do is come here, create a route, and you're gonna pick up here, and you're gonna deliver to here, and we'll call you Titus Outs the grapple. And then we're here. You're going to pick up gravel there, and you're going to unload gravel there. I think if we set this to a minimum of 50%, wait until loaded, that might force the issue a little bit there. That means that when you get to the head of the queue, you sit here. I know you're going to block things, but we certainly need at least a ton of gravel coming up here at regular intervals. Keep that cement production going. As I say, it is a little bit of a cause for concern. Although these guys have moved. But are you actually delivering the... He's delivering coal. So there's not a problem with the coal, but then there's a great big pile of coal here. And I think this is where the problem is, that down here, because we're building other things and we're hauling the gravel, we're kind of overloading things a little bit here. We're just going to need to keep an eye on things here. I think what I am going to do is, these guys are going to be doing nothing. I'm just going to send you back to there. And of course, what we're going to need to do is keep an eye on what's going over here. Apologies on flashing around the map because I'm a little bit twitchy. Let me just see. Yeah, this guy's got gravel, but then he's probably got a big deposit here of 70. Oh, we got a fire. Whoops. Where's the fire? Fire crew, please. Come on, up here. We can't afford to lose this. This is our bakehouse. All done. Of course, we're also in the 13th of October. Oh, wow. Okay, let me just... Oh, it's over here. Sorry. Yeah, because the overview tab that was up here has been replaced by the notices, and the overview tab is now down in here. Let's just see what our crop situation is like. 20. We got quite a lot of crops still to be gathered there. We got quite a lot of crops to be gathered all over the place at the moment. Let me just check the distro office. Where is it? Let me just bump this to 100% as well. I think I've done a few of them already. Just going to push this up to 100% as well, just so that we can get the maximum amount of crops into here. I really like the fact that we should be able to get the full amount now. Just push this up. Oh, crops everywhere. We've done that one. And 100%, 100%, 100%. Right. Okay, let me just check over here. Now we have got a bit of a growing problem with the oil refining, but I just want to check this first. Make sure we're not getting any gravel in here. We are getting very close now to actually filling up with bitumen, which is another possible issue that we're going to have. This guy's still got a lot of concrete, but we haven't actually reached the concrete stage at the moment because we're still laying the footpath here. Road crew, excavators, bulk supply on that. Right, this is now built. Oh, no, no, it's not. The J department's built, but this isn't. Right, you're working on that. You're good. Okay, we can now start on here. We've got Titus cranes and bulk supply out here. New Hope concrete, New Hope road crew, New Hope workers. We're going to need and steel here. I think we'll just put a bit of a bulk supply on as well, if we can get that underway. Wow. Then we're going to use New Hope. We're going to put all our crews on this to try and get as much as possible done here, like that. But we're just going to need to keep an eye on it. I've also got a similar problem with bitumen up here. Is it? So I am wondering whether... See, we don't really need to export the bitumen from here, but I'm just wondering whether we can start exporting bitumen from over here. Not a massive amount, but enough to keep going. What we got here? Got a dry bulk wagon. I don't think I've got any oil trucks. Let me just see. We got some excavators here. The other thing I wouldn't mind doing is possibly getting this done, that we can get there. I'm just wondering whether we could put another kind of open hole on here to try and keep this going strongly. As you can see, these guys just aren't moving. Okay, what we're going to do is grab you. Actually, if I got a route here, we just check. Oops. Of course, one thing you can do now is go to all related vehicles. What you've got now is this setup. What you've got, it says here, so we got a group of 3 or 5 here working, and we got an extra one working as well. Let me just see. Related lines. This is the new feature. Where are you? Just wondering whether I should set a route up here so that it doesn't get overly complicated, or should I just let it run? Of course, the problem is it all comes to a standstill when this guy runs out of fuel. Then he has to go all the way up to here to get fuel. I think at the moment I'm just going to stay with a bit of an ad hoc route. We're just going to add you here as well. You can pick up quarried stone and you can drop them off there. Wait until unloaded, quarried stone. And hopefully we'll be able to keep everything going. Oh, it's up to you guys. Is my bulk supply completely engaged? That's Titus workers. Your bulk supply, aren't you? Yep. Yeah. Let me just see. Right, you guys have got absolutely nothing to do. which is good. We'll just add you onto there so that you can give a bit of an assist, and maybe we'll put you on there as well. And what we'll do is we'll just remove this bulk supply from there. I know it's a long haul, but if these guys have got plenty of gravel, we should be okay. Just want to keep an eye on here. These guys have got plenty of gravel. I certainly wouldn't mind another, what we call it over here. Yeah, so these guys are functioning perfectly okay. Let me just see who's actually delivering the gravel to here. I think it's no, you're the cement guy. It must be you guys. Where are you? I'm just wondering. Oh, that's a long way for them to go. Are these guys actually shipping gravel? Yeah, you've got there, and you're delivering it to the concrete plant. Oops. Got a couple of dumpers doing nothing. I think what I'm going to do is, just as a backup for the calcium plant. I know I'm sounding a little bit obsessed about this calcium plant, but if it doesn't get the... cannot assign more buildings, okay. What I need is another way that I can bring up from here. I think what I will do, again, it's a little bit of an ad hoc contingency, but what we're going to do is put you onto there. You're going to pick up gravel, and you're going to deliver it to here. And I think you can set you to wait until unloaded, because I think it's got 2 slots here. So if we can kind of get, because it only stores 1 ton of gravel, then we'll have that go there. See, look, these guys have run out of gravel. And I bet you over here these guys aren't. Oh, they're not even moving. Wait, you're meant to be delivering 10 tons of gravel to the mixer plant. And he's not even moving. I'm pretty sure that's because there is no spare gravel here that's causing that. Because I'm pretty sure if I flip you as a secondary pickup point over here, let's see if they move. We got surplus gravel here. So say for argument's sake, I put you on there. Will you move? Because of course there's the thought in the back of my head that there's actually a problem with respect to the fact that this is a modded. No, you can see, look, they're moving now. Because the problem is that this isn't building up a backlog because there's so much going on here. So that actually makes a case for what I was talking about a little while ago, about having a second rock crusher here. I think we've got that cracked. Any other problems here? We've nearly filled up this with bitumen. Well, I mean, we could flare it, but I don't really want to do that. Let me just see let's go back over here. Say apologies that I'm flashing all over the screen. We got riding horses here, 2-horse dumpers. I think for that, I think these red chevrons say that everything's full up. Let me just see if I can bring a couple of you out here. If we can get, oops, didn't mean to do that. And I think we'll build 2 oil wagons. Just check electronics is full again. And you're nearly full as well. Plastics. Starting to get very tempted just to start selling some of this stuff, but then again, we've still got to manufacture it. Obviously, you can get more horses into here. In fact, I've never expected to get that many horses. I don't think we're actually going to need that many, are we? I think I might sell a couple of them actually. Although we could, yeah, I think I'm going to sell them. I think I got a bit carried away with some of these horses, so I'm just going to sell them for a little bit of profit. So that gets us up to 971,000. Let's sell you as well. Because I can't remember how many slots is there on this. There's 3. So technically at the moment I just need 6. And I manufactured all these horses. So what we're going to do is get rid of them. Riding horses. Although we could probably give it to our locals, and that might actually improve some of the things. Yeah. Well, I think part of the problem is I didn't realise that this had a kind of quasi infinite storage here. And so I've it carried on producing an infinite number of horses. Okay, we've now got the oil wagon because we're going to have to send him down to here. So that we can actually get an electricity problem. Yep, thank you, game. Where's that? That's in our bitumen plant up here. That's okay. Where are we on now? We're on the 21st of November. Right, I just want to check my crop income. You've virtually got everything in here. That's brilliant. We're getting quite a lot of stuff coming in here. Wow, this field is virtually empty as well. And we got a little bit left in here. Wow, I don't believe that. And what we got over here? We got kind of 5 or 6 tons in here across all these fields. So we may get a few losses in this area. I think overall we're doing okay. Let me just come here. Wait for our oil truck to get down to here. We kind of got this here. Bulk supply. There's concrete and steel. What's up with the concrete? I know what the steel's the perennial problem, but what's up with the... Yeah, cement. So we've effectively run out of cement production over here. Let me just get back over here. And something tells me that I'm going to need to improve my overall cement production. Yeah, it's the gravel that's the problem. What have you got here? Why are you just sat here? It says load. Hey, you're only meant to be waiting to unload. Bit of a mistake on my part there. And how we offer gravel over here? These trees are... I mean, I'd be tempted to cut them all down, but so we got plenty of cement there. It's just that with the concrete, it's just that we're not producing enough cement to go over to here. I mean, we got lots of money. This part of me says just import the cement like I did before. I mean, the economy is picking up, but we're going to see how we go, guys, and see if that actually works. The dumpers aren't moving. Why aren't these dumpers moving? Why did I set you to the calcium plant? Or didn't I forget? Did I not bother? Oh no, because this was full up, wasn't it? What we're going to do is just remove you from there and put you onto the calcium plant. I think for the moment we don't need you to kind of gather any crops from the fields. So just gonna fuel depot. %, and then flip back here. See if they actually. Where did you go? Yeah, it looks like we got a problem here. Got 3 tons of gravel here, but yeah, this is not going to last long, is it? So we're probably going to get a bit of a queue here. We're trying to get to the bitumen plant. We're kind of staggering along a little bit here. We got the problem is steel again. Just get up to here. Right, we should now have an oil truck here. I know it's a long haul, but I need to keep the oil refinery producing fuel, even though it's got quite a lot of surplus. And well, we got 75 tons of fuel at the moment. We got this bitumen here. I'm just wondering whether could we build an asphalt plant out here instead, so that we could actually make stuff here. I think we can get rid of this bus stop. And take you out there, and we're just gonna have a look at the mod situation with respect to asphalt plants. Wood pitch extraction. And if we could get, we've got a hot mix plant here, which will store 20 tons of gravel, oil tank import, 40 tons of bitumen. I think although this is a one-way type flow, isn't it? What would be easier to put it out here? In some ways it'd be easy to put it out here amongst all these flaming trees, but we'd have to put it on this corner here so that we can, let me just have a look at this building. One of the annoying things is that if I press G now, press G, it turns everything off and you can't see, so there's a bit of a backward step there. Concrete plant, small hot mix plant. They'll need quite a lot of power though, so we need it within range of the, and we could put it in as a compromise here, but we'd have to bring people out to work. Although, say for example, we put it say for, I put it like that, that'd be in range of that power station, so it won't be a problem. And then what we can do later on is actually expand this a bit. I gotta keep remembering that the construction button there, so if we put a hot mix plant here, that keeps us in range of the oil refinery. And what we could do is we could get an small aggregate store here, which we could connect to a conveyor. Maybe that could be an option. We'll just come in here, storage. I think I've got this one here. Wow, no, not that one. We could put something like that there. for argument's sake there, that would bring in the aggregate for the hot mix. That can come in there like that. Press that there. Takes 18 tons of gravel, 3 tons of bitumen. It's got storage for 40 tons of bitumen, 20 tons of gravel, and 450. And that requires 3 workers. I think we can go with that. And then what I probably need to do, I was building this down here, is I think we're going to have to try and improve our gravel extraction at the moment. You can see at the moment we've got absolutely no gravel whatsoever. Okay, we need excavators, bulk supply, we need concrete, and we need transfer. And I think we'll put workers on there as well. It's going to take a little while to build this. Okay, what we got here: excavators, concrete workers, transport. And what do we need here? Concrete. Isn't that a surprise? Here we just come here. Cannot export concrete. Okay. So you need concrete. You need concrete, asphalt, and here. In fact, I think what we'll do is we'll put the, what we call it, crew on, the motley crew. Because what we can do is by putting these on, we can bring in the what we call it in from over here. In fact, is there anything else that we need to build just at the moment? No, I think that would be enough for the moment. We can just keep that going. Right, I've realised that I'm running out of time on this video, so what we're going to do is just have a quick look round and see how things are going. I mean, these guys are going pretty well, actually. As long as I'm pretty sure, as long as they can keep the, I mean, if things get really bad, we'll just have to start importing cement again. So we're actually on nearly the end of the year. So this is being built. You need steel, isn't that a surprise? We'll just take a look at our friendly guy up here. I'm sure these probably New Hope blacksmith. No, so he's got no crops though. So it's probably he's just quite happily delivering the crops in there. And so we've got that coming together. And I just want to take a look at, we've got children here. So it looks like we've solved the problem with the elementary schools. It says we've got 4% unemployment, but that's due to no workplace, so that's pretty good. We've got no over 21s at the moment. We got our happiness is 93%. Our government loyalty has dropped to 39%, which is a little bit dire, but there's not much we can do about it. Everyone's just upset because of the food shortages and everything like that. Got television, of course. We're going to need to get radios done as well. This is 90%. I'd say that probably most of the unhappiness is actually over here. 94%. It's not bad actually. 95%. So there must be some people around here that haven't got back into here, have they, by any chance? Nope. So I just want to take a quick look at this happiness. Where is it? So you're 91, you're 96, you're 94, got 88% here. I can't imagine how one building at 88% would pull everybody down. Haven't got any leakage. 92%, 92, so we got somebody here at 88%. What's up with you? I think the problem is the lack of meat, and we're not getting any leakage out to here, are we? And this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Hope you found it interesting. In the next part, we'll just try and work on getting our monuments built and things like that so that we can get our secret police operational. But until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.